On November 28, 1960, a common night for most, but for two Italian radio amateurs, Achille and Giovanni Battista, it became the starting point for a series of intriguing events. While intercepting radio frequencies used by Soviet satellites, a peculiar signal interrupted the silence of the night. A mysterious repeating code, a Morse code message that, when deciphered, revealed only 3 letters. SOS. The signal had a decreasing frequency, indicating that the object was moving away from Earth. The operator's curiosity led them to explore the meaning behind the message. And in today's video, we will talk about the mysterious signal from the astronaut lost in space. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video to help us out. The famous image of astronaut Bruce McCandless floating in space evokes admiration and at the same time a slight panic. The idea of drifting in the void with Earth hundreds of kilometers below is chilling. In McCandless's case, it was a calculated move, everything under control. But what if at some point a human were launched into the infinite and never returned? Stories circulate about alleged lost astronauts, or more precisely, cosmonauts, in space. The difference between astronaut and cosmonaut is only the place of birth, with the term astronaut used for US and other countries' citizens, cosmonaut for those born in Russia or the former Soviet Union, and taikonaut for the Chinese. Regardless of the name, the mystery surrounding alleged space deaths, hidden by authorities, seems to have grown during the Cold War. In this time of tension between the United States and the Soviet Union, the space race became an extension of the global conflict. History recognizes Yuri Gagarin as the first man to have traveled beyond Earth, but there are doubters. And there are arguments for such doubts. As the Soviet space program was very closed and did not release information, there is a belief that Yuri may have been the first to successfully land, but that before him, cosmonauts may have died in failed missions. This belief is based on alleged interceptions of radio signals that would have been emitted from space trying to establish contact with Soviet bases on the ground. The Soviets achieved various milestones, from Sputnik 1 to sending the first living being into space, the dog Laika. However, these advancements were accompanied by tragedies, many covered up by the Soviet propaganda machine. The Netherlands catastrophe in 1960, during missile preparation, is one of the darkest episodes. Soviet authorities tried to cover up the case, and to this day, the exact number of victims is unknown, estimated between 60 and 150. Other enigmatic deaths, like Yuri Gagarin's in an unexplained plane crash, feed the aura of mystery surrounding the Soviet space program. These risks led the leaders of the time to keep space missions secret, revealing them only after launch if they were successful. The fear of failures was real, as they represented not only human tragedies, but also symbolic defeats in the propaganda war between superpowers. In this context, suspicious cases emerged, like the death of Valentin Bondarenko, a victim of a fire during endurance tests. The government prohibited any news about the incident at the time, and details only came to light 25 years later. The atmosphere of secrecy and the race for space dominance fostered the emergence of conspiracy theories. Grigory Nelyubov is one of the central figures in these theories. Selected for the first Soviet class of cosmonauts, his image was erased from official photos, with the Soviet Union citing military discipline and a penchant for drinking as reasons. Speculations arose about his possible death in space, fueling conspiracy theories surrounding the Soviet space program. Another story, originating in an American newspaper in 1959, reports that the Russians made 4 unsuccessful attempts to send a person into space, including a woman. Later, it was discovered that they were a group of high-altitude parachutists, never intended for space. Fake news, apparently, is not a recent phenomenon. In 1962, reports suggested that the Soviets placed a cosmic coffin in orbit. However, it was more likely a mannequin named Ivan Ivanovich used in space tests. The Soviets, known for their disinformation strategies, also played a prank on the Americans during the Zond 5 mission in 1968, implying they were about to reach the moon. One of the most intriguing legends was created by Spanish conceptual artist Juan Fontcuberta. In an exhibition, he presented a supposed lost astronaut named Ivan Istoshnikov. The exhibition was a hoax, with photos of the astronaut being montages with the artist's own face. However, some news outlets didn't grasp the joke, reporting the story as true. Amidst all these stories, the brothers Achille and Giovanni Battista emerged as central figures. Their journey began as a hobby, building radio equipment on their rooftop to capture space signals. The opportunity to monitor Soviet space activity led them on a path of fascinating and sometimes frightening discoveries. They claim to have captured signals from various events, including the heartbeat of Laika the dog in Sputnik 2 and even distress signals in Morse code from a supposed lost cosmonaut. Their recordings gained notoriety, but controversy surrounds them. The female voice supposedly belonging to a lost cosmonaut screaming desperately for help is considered by many as one of the most shocking recordings. However, experts point out inconsistencies and question the authenticity of the transmission. The sister of the radio amateurs, who spoke Russian, was accused of interpreting the voice of the supposed cosmonaut, and the lack of formal investigation into the case leaves many questions unanswered. Doubts are not limited to just this recording, but extend to the entire archive of the Achille and Giovanni brothers. In the end, the mystery surrounding the Soviet space program persists with unanswered questions. The recordings of the Giudica Cordiglia brothers, although intriguing, remain on the threshold between fascination with space exploration and the uncertainty surrounding the secrets of the cosmos and the human machines attempting to explore it. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey of space exploration and mysteries with us. Don't forget to subscribe, leave your like, and of course, share with us in the comments your own theories and thoughts on the intriguing events we explored together. Until the next adventure into the unknown.